I was keeping a close eye on this buck through the summer because he had a bad limp on his front left leg. I call him Muley because of his double split G2s. It's a pretty unique characteristic that is becoming somewhat common on this property that I help manage. He was mostly recovered at this point, but for whatever reason on this day, he let me get really close to him, so I took advantage and got some good video of him. He made a full recovery, and I saw him several times in the fall chasing does. For the rest of the season, when I wasn't working or videoing the nice bucks that I can't hunt, I was out for the yearly ritual of walking miles and miles while getting ate up by chiggers and mosquitoes, sweating through dozens of shirts in 105-degree temperatures, and hanging trail cameras that take pictures of mostly the wind blowing, but with the occasional nice buck. In my scouting, I like to key in on feed trees and isolated water sources for the early season. But the rapidly changing patterns of bucks from hunting pressure and pre-rut dynamics make my entire hunting landscape radically different over the first 3 weeks of hunting season. The truth is, most of the bucks I see from July to September will be somewhere else by October. But the chances of encountering one make the efforts worth it to me. The deer season is like a marathon to me, not a sprint. I enjoy the whole process and all the challenges that come with it. I spend much of October figuring out where the pressure is going to be and how to adjust to it, along with what kind of setups I'm going to use. And I have the added layer of self-filming my hunts. Self-filming hunts can be a bear of a task. Anyone who does it understands. Unless you're just doing the bare minimum with a GoPro or a phone, the many considerations that have to be accounted for when picking a tree or a spot on the ground are numerous. Will I need a camera arm or a tripod? Can the arm get full range of motion from that tree? Will the deer see my camera or my tripod from there? Am I going to have 2 film angles or just one? What if the deer approach from this way or that way? And the considerations go on. I usually leave the hunt an hour earlier than I would if I were not self-filming to make up for the time it takes to plan and to set up all the camera equipment. It is an added challenge, but I love the reward of capturing the experiences so I can share them.
2 more does. There was a third one that busted out of there too.
But that's enough about filming for now.
No bugs.
I've been an avid public land hunter for over 15 years now, and I've had to change and adapt my ways a lot, especially in the past 4 or 5 years. Increased population, easy access to knowledge and resources to hunt is more readily available than ever before. I think this is true just about everywhere. I can't control the fact that there's a lot more people hunting public land, and that the knowledge on hunting strategies, along with onX and other hunting apps, have made many of my go-to spots become regularly used by others. So I try to focus in on what actually is in my control, which is mostly just going harder than others. Thinking outside the box and outworking the other hunters has become my method of success in recent years. I try not to overcomplicate things and keep reasonable expectations in my time out on the public land. October went as it usually does for me. It was a grind. I had a few encounters with deer, but I was mostly just watching nature and knocking off the hunting rust.
So the sun is setting, and the cows finally left. I don't know if there's any hope for anything coming in here. While I'm sitting here, I decided to check my cell cam at one of my other spots, and got 2 shooters at my other spot. It's typical. It's okay though, at least I know there's 2 shooters over there, but dadgum. Almost went over there this evening. Almost decided just to go do that, but it's alright. It's alright. I may be headed tomorrow. There's time.
At the end of the month, I decided to hunt some public land out east in the Piney Woods for a change of pace. I spent a morning out there scouting a unit that I had never been on and found a nice pocket of rubs and scrapes. So I picked out a tree and hunted it the following evening. On reflection and reviewing the video, there were multiple times I missed the buck looking my direction in response to my calling. The brush was so thick, I just couldn't see him clearly to know. I feel like my timing on calling was off as a result. Most of the time when I was calling, he couldn't hear me because he was moving. The buck worked his way off after being in my general area for nearly an hour. I sat a couple more hours before high winds and some heavy rain moved in, so I went ahead and checked out. Hindsight is 20/20, but I should have been a lot more aggressive hunting this unit, especially it being the last day that it was open.
myself that if any hogs came in this year, I would shoot them. Builds confidence, being able to kill one really easy like that. And getting those things out of this area helps too. Now that I've killed the one and spooked the others, they won't come back for a long time. Those are really smart
After dragging the hog out of there, I got back into my tree right as this young buck came through. It was good to see all the commotion hadn't cleared the area entirely. The first week of November is a magical time in this area, especially in conjunction with a cold front, which is what we had. The conditions were perfect to connect with a buck. It was just a matter of time now.
Well, I almost shot that buck. It's a 2.5-year-old. It's tough because I was regretting not shooting one just like him last year at the end of the season, but he's got a good rack on him. His body is small. I've seen him on camera, and I've told myself I won't shoot him. There's much bigger deer in here. If I can get one of those bigger, mature ones to do exactly what he did, I'll be good. Come on, shooter, coming in. shot, but hit a little bit high that first one. I was trying to get it on video, but I think this limb right here was right in the way. He saw me draw, so I think I kind of rushed it a little bit. He was a little bit closer than I thought, too, so I had a higher point of impact. That's one I've been saying that I'll shoot if he comes in. He's got a messed up right side. It's really cool. At least there's no drag job. Give him a minute here and I'll go down and look at him. Wow.
Except for the unfortunate placement of my first shot, it was the perfect conclusion to wrap up my archery season by tagging this buck. The season was long and challenging, but I wouldn't have it any other way. God was good to me this season. Thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for the next video I'm coming out with. It's going to be about the first buck that we've shot off the management property, and he's a tank.